GTA 5 is the second best-selling game of all time and is one of the most profitable single pieces of media ever. It is also the final boss of pearl-clutching Karens and sissies everywhere. The moral backlash to GTA was so immense that it launched the franchise into iconic status, but what is the game actually like? Well, basically everything about GTA 5 is kind of obnoxious, but it works. It's basically meant to be a version of reality where everything has been ramped up to an 11, which is fine by me because I would rather have a game do too much than not enough. This game really does make fun of everybody. I don't think it really has a particular message except that America is a melting pot of lunatics. Everyone is kinda cooked in their own special way, even the people who think they're normal. The story of GTA 5 is kind of a mess. The main plot is basically just Michael getting blackmailed by various government groups the whole game. There are several other arcs and characters and stuff, but a lot of it never really amounts to anything. I feel like a lot of it's there just to have crazy shit happen and give the missions variety, and you know what? It does that. The plot definitely meanders, but luckily there's plenty of other things to enjoy.
You forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them?
Even by modern standards, GTA 5 has a fantastic map. Maybe not graphically, but like, emotionally. I think even people with no nostalgia for GTA 5 will still appreciate all the detail put into it. Apparently this is a bit of a controversial opinion because I see quite a few video essays complaining about the map, but personally I think Los Santos is such a vibe. Like, just the experience of riding around listening to music is really enjoyable. When I first played, I really liked being kind of a virtual tourist and exploring all the little random areas. Rockstar clearly wanted to throw in as many biomes and landmarks as they realistically could. Also, the vast majority of the map is never explored in the campaign. Two things bother me about the map, which are that it takes ages to get from one side of it to the other, and that the downtown area is weirdly small. There's what, like 6 skyscrapers? But there's also way more variety in the buildings compared to GTA 4. I don't know. Speaking of things that bother me, GTA Online is... chaotic. It's just cheaters and people saying slurs and arguing on mic and people immediately killing each other and you in the middle of the shitfest. But people have a reason for playing it, right? It lets you live out your criminal fantasies, it gave us 5M, it gave us a bunch of other online game modes like Sumo and Deadline. It's kind of interesting to me the way GTA Online has served as a vehicle for community-made content the same way Gary's mod has. It was honestly a stroke of genius to do that because it has given the game so much longevity. But for me, the best thing about GTA 5 is the story mode, and the best thing about the story mode is Trevor Phillips, Michael DeSanta, and their fucked up relationship. Spoiler alert for the remainder of the video, and also rant warning because I have things to say about Trevor in particular. I don't want to call Trevor a misunderstood character, but I do think he's a more layered character than people give him credit for. The question is not, is Trevor a disgusting psycho who indiscriminately kills people? The real question is, do I like him anyway? And the answer is yes, yes I do. He is not someone who's worried about violence or consequences because he just solves the consequences with more violence. Like the system works, you know? Manipulate, manslaughter, man-whore, let's fucking go. But beneath his man-whore exterior, Trevor is also loyal. This is literally shown in the first scene of the game when he almost screws over Michael by refusing to leave him behind. I think the biggest example of this loyalty is the Bury the Hatchet mission, which honestly had me floored at how much Trevor values Michael.
You are telling me that Michael conspired to get Trevor killed and his other friend arrested, so he could retire, then he made Trevor think his friend was in jail, and wrote fake letters to Trevor pretending to be their dead friend, so he would think he's still alive, and he faked his own death, and now Michael is once again considering throwing Trevor under the bus for a situation that is partially Michael's own fault. And Trevor knows all this at this point in the game and he still wouldn't kill him? Are you kidding me? He is so loyal.
The thing is that the layer of Trevor's personality beneath that is that he's super possessive of people, but the layer beneath that is that Trevor is actually capable of letting people go. I want to talk about the whole thing with Mrs. Madrazo because I genuinely believe that the writers put that in the story to prove that Trevor can let people go. Because what else is the point of that arc if not that? Like, yeah, it gave them an excuse to go hide out in the desert, which is the best part of the game, and it shows how Trevor's impulsivity screws over Michael, but like they already did that in a bunch of different ways. Really, the whole romance thing between Mrs. Madrazo and Trevor didn't need to happen. It didn't really change anything in the story, but they chose to have it anyway. They chose to have him have a surprisingly good, healthy relationship with Mrs. Madrazo, and then they chose to have him get his heart broken, and then they chose for him to ultimately let her go even though he wasn't happy about it. which is kinda sad, but his whole life is sad, so the sadness actually cancels out and everything's fine. I should probably talk about Michael too. You know, equal time for my equal love of the characters. My analysis is that Michael is a shitty old bitch that I hate, not to be confused with the shitty old bitch that I like. Okay, honestly, I don't hate Michael, I actually like him, but my main problem with him is that he takes no responsibility for the life he lives. Like, oh, I'm Michael the Stinky and I blame everyone for my problems and no one is surprised. Like, he blames Trevor for so many things throughout the game, but he chose to get back into crime and he was the one starting shit with people. He hates his wife for cheating even though he also cheated. He hates his kids because they suck, but listen buddy, sometimes the sucky apple doesn't fall far from the doo-doo tree, I'm just saying. All this is to say that Michael and Trevor's relationship is kinda hard to describe. Like, do I think Trikey is canon? No. But do I think they went ham with the subtext? Yo, they went sicko style with the subtext. You want a complex LGBT character? Look no further than Trevor Phillips. He's bisexual, he's a business owner, he's a bitch, he's a lover, he's possibly a cannibal. I mean, icon the house. I'm shook. But really though, in moments where I would otherwise be bored of the game, the prospect of Michael and Trevor interacting, or getting some more lore about their history, was honestly what kept me engaged in this game more than anything else. One of my favorite scenes is when they're hanging out in the desert, and at this point Trevor and Michael have been at each other's throats constantly, and it's the first time in the game where Michael really listens to what Trevor is saying and actually apologizes to him, which he's never done before, and Trevor immediately goes,
"It's not good enough."
Like, oh my god, he's such a drama king. They're like cats, they just end up fighting for no reason. Anyway, they're both ridiculous, and I love them for that, and that's my rant. I'm sorry I haven't talked about Franklin much in this video. Because of Michael and Trevor's history, I feel like he kinda gets sidelined, even in the game itself. In their defense, they couldn't exactly make Franklin the most decisive person in the world because he is a vehicle for the player's final decision. In terms of the dynamic between the characters, Franklin is kinda like their adopted son who loves his shitty dads despite the fact that he also hates them. That's the best way I can describe it. Also, compared to everything I just said with the protagonists, and even compared to a lot of the side characters, I basically have nothing to say about the villains. Like, who are any of these dudes? With the exception of this guy, they kinda all just have the same douchey personality. That's one area where GTA 5 kinda dropped the ball, but the protagonists and the rest of the cast make up for it. GTA 6 seems to be setting us up for a kind of us against the world Bonnie and Clyde situation, but I'm hopeful that they'll throw a wrench in it because I love a dysfunctional relationship. In media. It's just so spicy and fun. GTA 5 had strong characters while being kinda weak in the story department, so I'm hoping GTA 6 can do both. We know Rockstar is capable of this. In conclusion, Frankie good, Mikey bad, Trevi iconic, and I am bad at outros, goodbye.